Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blame It on the Stars, where we give you an inside look at what's going on in the universe so you can blame your problems on the stars. It is Jade here.
And it's Kara.
And this week, we're talking all about Mars entering Libra and the upcoming full moon in Aquarius. But in case you missed it last week, we talked all about Venus in Cancer. So if you want to know more about that, then definitely check out last week's episode before diving into this one.
And just to give you a heads up, next week we will tell you everything that you need to know about the end of Mercury retrograde and Saturn sextile Uranus and how both of those things affect you.
And with that being said, let's dive into the episode. So the first thing happening this week is Mars entering Libra, which happens on August 6th at 7:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And per usual, the date and time are from the website astroseek.com. What you need to know. Mars is the planet of motivation, and Libra is a very balanced sign and energy that prefers harmony. So when Mars enters the sign of Libra, it's not necessarily the most comfortable placement for Mars. This transit can make us more focused on fairness and teamwork, but it can also bring some hesitation when it comes to making decisions or asserting ourselves directly.
How you will feel. During this time, you might feel a bit of a push-pull energy between wanting to speak up and also wanting to keep the peace. You might feel a little bit more cautious about the way that you express things. However, this is a good time to compromise and work together with others to overcome any challenges that come up. Libra energy is really good at understanding other people's perspective, so that can help you find some common ground.
So where this will show up in your life. This energy could show up in your relationships, all kinds of relationships, professional, platonic, etc. You might be more focused on fairness and equality and may feel more likely to advocate for justice if there is any type of imbalance. And this is also, in general, a time where you might be more interested in some creative stuff like redecorating, wardrobe changes, or any type of creative planning, since Libra has a very good aesthetic eye.
What will become important to you? During this time, you're going to care more about keeping things calm and getting along with others. You might find yourself wanting to make everyone happy, even if that means that you have to hold back what you really think or feel. It's a good time to notice when you're people pleasing and to practice speaking up for yourself in ways that are thoughtful and caring so that you're still able to honor your own needs.
If you're wondering how long this lasts, Mars will be in Libra until September 22nd at 3:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when Mars enters Scorpio.
And per usual, certain signs will be affected more than others. The signs that are most affected by Mars in Libra are Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn placements. By placements, we mean Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, and or Mars placements only.
And there are a few key dates you're going to want to pay attention to. These are the aspects that Mars will make as it moves through Libra. Starting off with August 8th, Mars will trine Uranus, which could help you take action with a more innovative approach. So this is a good day to shake things up or try something new.
And on the same day, August 8th, Mars will also be opposite Saturn. This is a more challenging aspect. There is definitely some tension between your goals and long-term plans and your motivation and actions that you can take. Sometimes Mars square Saturn can feel like there's things standing in your way. You might feel blocked or held back. It's a good time just to practice being patient and trust that things will move forward, just maybe not as fast as you had anticipated.
The next day, Mars will be opposite Neptune. Since Neptune is a very confusing energy, Mars being opposite Neptune could have you in situations where you're arguing over nothing or assuming the wrong intentions, whether that is for better or for worse. This will probably also feel more amplified since Mercury will still be retrograde at the time of Mars opposition to Neptune. So this is definitely a day where you want to save the thought for a later time, write things down, and try not to pick any arguments that might not actually be arguments you need to have.
And then on August 10th, Mars will be trine Pluto. This energy will increase your motivation and determination as you're working towards your goals. If you were feeling a little bit frustrated during the Saturn aspect, once Mars trines Pluto, you might feel a little bit more motivated and like the things that you're doing are more meaningful. This is a good aspect for making progress and working on long-term tasks.
And then lastly, on September 4th, Mars will square Jupiter. Squares to Jupiter can cause us to overlook things. So just be mindful if you feel a really strong need to react to something, that you're not overlooking something or overdoing it. And at the same time, too, since Mars is our desire to take action, just be mindful of biting off more than you can chew. Now, the next thing happening in astrology that you're going to want to pay attention to is the full moon in Aquarius, which happens on August 9th at 3:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you need to know: the full moon will bring attention to the Aquarius themes and will be about finding balance between community, individuality, collective purpose, but also self-expression and the way that you choose to represent yourself. Since Aquarius energy is very forward thinking, this full moon could spark some realizations about the role that you play in your friend groups or any communities or groups that you're a part of.
How you will feel. Full moons can bring about a lot of feelings, but because this full moon is happening in Aquarius, which is an air sign, you're going to be looking at things from a more logical perspective. This is a good time to zoom out, look at the bigger picture, and reflect on your independence.
Where this will show up in your life. This full moon may highlight issues or imbalances in your social life, network, or long-term goals. So if something feels outdated or misaligned, this might be a time where you might feel ready to let go or make a change that will better suit you.
What will become important to you? Around the time of the full moon, you are going to be more focused on the communities that you're a part of, any causes that truly matter to you, and also surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. This is a really good time to honor your individuality and embrace what makes you unique, even if that means that you have to step away from old rules or expectations.
And that is it for this week's episode. Yes, there are no aspects to this full moon, so that's all we've got. But just a reminder, next week we'll be talking all about Mercury retrograde ending and Saturn-Uranus sextiles. So if you want to know more about that, then definitely make sure wherever you're listening to the podcast, you're subscribed with the notifications turned on so you don't miss when we post next week. But until then, that is all for now, and we'll see you all next Monday. Bye.